When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Psalm 27, verse 2. David shifts from declaration to demonstration. He moves from principle to proof. The previous verse proclaimed God as light, salvation, and strength. This verse shows what happens when that truth meets real enemies. The phrase "to eat up my flesh" paints a vivid picture. David compares his enemies to wild beasts. They come not just to defeat, but to devour. The language suggests tearing and consuming, like lions on prey. Peter uses similar language in his epistle. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. David uses three terms for his attackers: wicked, enemies, and foes. Each word adds intensity. The wicked are corrupt, his enemies oppose him, while his foes attack his person. The multiplication of terms shows the severity of the threat. These aren't casual critics, they seek David's destruction. They stumbled and fell. The outcome surprises. David doesn't say he defeated them. He claims no personal victory. His enemies defeat themselves. They stumble and they fall. When God is your defense, enemies self-destruct. This pattern appears throughout Scripture. Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea. Israel didn't fight, they just watched. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Exodus 14:14. Moses told the people to stand still. God handled the battle. Haman built gallows for Mordecai, but he hung on them himself. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Esther 7:10. The trap he set for Mordecai caught himself. Haman's own scheme became his downfall. Daniel's accusers threw him to the lions, but the hungry animals devoured them instead. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions had the mastery of them. Daniel 6:24. The punishment they planned became their own judgment. David writes from experience, not theory. He remembers specific attacks. He recalls real enemies. Yet he also uses this as a general principle. Whenever enemies come, they stumble and fall. The verse contains no mention of David's actions. David does not fight, nor does he flee or negotiate. Yet his enemies fall because God is his salvation. Paul experienced this principle. At my first answer, no man stood with me, but all men forsook me. I pray God that it may not be laid to their charge. Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me and strengthened me. 2 Timothy 4:16-17. Alone in court, Paul found God sufficient. His enemies could not prevail against the Lord. This verse teaches believers to expect opposition. Enemies will come. They will attack, seeking to devour. But the passage also predicts the outcome. When God is our defense, attackers defeat themselves. Their own wickedness becomes their downfall. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Psalm 9:16. The application of this passage reaches beyond our physical enemies. Evil forces attack believers daily. Temptations assault, doubts accuse, and fears threaten us. Yet the same principle applies. When God is our light and salvation, these enemies stumble and fall.